Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie and this is my Scattered Brain Vintage Shop. I am a owner of 3 vintage booths, 2 in one location and 1 in another here in North Carolina. So I'm having a lot of trouble getting going this morning. It's pretty cold out there and I'm not really wanting to run in and out of the house, go outside at all. Go down to the booths. It's also Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so I think the booths will be quiet, but I don't want to get in the way of anybody shopping. We did go and plump up one of the booths yesterday, and that took most of my back stock that I had just purchased. So part of being a reseller is either deciding something's absolutely something you're going to use, throwing out stuff that you know you're never going to use, or trying to rescue things that you see have potential. So what I'm going to do right now is, because it's freezing cold outside, I don't want to go outside, I'm not motivated. What I'm going to do is take things that I have stalled out on because they are projects. It's something broken, it needs a little bit of paint, needs to be recreated into something else. I'm going to go through some stuff. I'm going to throw out some stuff that's, for sure garbage. But then if there's something that I see potential, I'm going to go ahead and use this day as like a little crafting, a little bit of mending, sorting, pricing, and do those tasks. And that is part of being a booth owner is, you always have to assess your inventory. Sometimes it'll just be something that was like mixed in a lot. Like, I just know that this was like, I don't even know. I don't remember where I got this. But it was like, let's say it was like in a dollar pile, which I don't know that it was. But, I've got a couple things here that I feel like, yeah, they could use a new home. I could use them. It could have been part of a Christmas ornament. I don't even actually recognize this as something that I had. So there's, a reason to break out the glue and the paint, and I have enough things here that I can justify doing that for a little while. And for me, that'll be like a mental reset. So I'll just show you, like this guy here. He must have had a butterfly or something glued on his nose because he's got a big glob of glue, and then he's got some missing paint. I'm almost thinking, like, it is an angel rabbit, right? So maybe he had a halo. I don't know. So what I'm going to need to do is, get some white paint on there, sand some of the old glue off, repaint, and then just spritz it with a little gloss. This guy here, he's just a little bunny. I guess he's a chocolate bunny or a brown bunny. And he's got a hole. So I am going to take one of my barbecue skewers and just glue that on. And as I go, I'll price and clean and try and make it a cohesive bunch of stuff that I can use as part of a vignette or part of reselling. I'm sorry I'm scrunched down here, but I don't have my tripod, so I balanced you. Yeah, so it's not exactly a booth video, but maybe you want to see that part of it. All right. I'll probably do some voiceovers and catch you during my projects. Okay, so there you saw I did a lot of like repairing and cleaning the first day. And this next day I'm going about pricing things. There was some Irish cups with Irish coffee recipe and an Irish blessing. And then here, this is a package of 3 sachets that I got from the thrift store very inexpensively. So I thought I would do better splitting them up and pricing them individually. Now here, this little guy, he's going to get priced. And then you'll see there I have a 4-H trophy. And I thought, let me just go ahead and, it was actually in the house that I live in. We found it when we moved in. And I thought, let me price that up and I'll put it next to the Irish mugs. It doesn't have a name on it. There is some kind of achievement stipulation on it, but I'm just going to shine that up and put a price on it because actually used trophies do sell sometimes. A couple of surprising things. One of those pots is by a company that's no longer in business, and the largest size of those pots go for over $100. This is Ellery Queen magazine, so they're mystery magazines. I have a dozen of them, 10 or a dozen of them from the mid-1980s. And so what I do is I take, I'm making up the price tags, and then when they're all done, I'll do it assembly line style. And I take and this is how I do hardcover books as well. I take a piece of thread, like embroidery thread, and I put it in the middle of the pages of the book and then bring it around the outside and tie it in a knot. And that gives me something to put my price tags on without taping it to a page or taping it to the cover or damaging the book really in any way. The embroidery thread is pretty thin, so it doesn't really do anything to the pages either. Here you can see me doing it a little more clearly. It's a little bit messy when you're putting like a bunch of books together in between some bookends. And sometimes I do just put a sticker on a book depending on what it is and what condition it's in. But it's kind of a little bit nicer not to expect somebody to rip a label off and possibly damage a book in a way that they don't want to. Now these were extremely inexpensive, so I am literally only pricing those for about $3 a piece. And now here's just an overall of everything that I got ready to go down to the booth. I have a big piece of pottery there. I have some Easter items, some trinket boxes. I'm hoping maybe they'll sell for Valentine's Day. A little Easter children's set. And some silver. And finally, here are some shots of my booth. We went in and moved everything around, which we try and do periodically. So some of the items that I processed, you'll see here. This is a display of silver. And then you'll see there's that white piece of pottery and the planter. And then this is some ironstone and some other various white china. And then I didn't show you me making it, but there's that bird. I attached him to a nest and then glued it in some brass. There's another trophy that I have in the booth. And then here's a little collection of Eastery stuff that I have right at the entrance of my booth. There's the sachets, egg cup, some bouquets that I made. And that's it. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.